been a tough year for the airlines, mostly for a reason that's beyond their control, the grounding of the 737 MAX, one of the most popular commercial planes on Earth. But some airlines have held up a lot better than others. Take United Airlines. That's the largest of the major carriers. It stocks up around 8% year to date. Why? Well, in part, it's because United's made major investments in technology, including customer relations management, software from Salesforce. And as I've been telling you all week, that is a major differentiator. But don't take it from me. Let's check in with Oscar Munoz. He is the CEO of United Airlines Holdings. Learn more about his efforts to turn United into a more customer-friendly airline. Mr. Munoz, welcome back to Mad Money. Oscar, no one knows the pulse of America, both for business and for just regular old travel, than you do. So tell me, are we close to a recession, as so many people tell me to worry about, or is it a pretty halcyon time to be in the airline business?
Listen, and we started this conversation back in early of 2019, and I've never seen a wider gap between what is being discussed and trying to be pushed and the facts and figures that we see. So the answer is no. Now, we don't have as long a term of view of things, and we're always watching, obviously, because it's important to always be sort of cognizant of those potential trends, but we're not seeing it.
I'm hearing from just from people I know like to travel, that the holiday season already shaping up to be one of the best ever.
Yeah, no, December is very strong. We said that on our third quarter call, and so it's nice to be there. And so now we don't take it for granted. We love all of your customers, and we're not taking you for granted whatsoever, so we're trying to improve your experience every day.
If you have 14 737 MAXs, does that make it so you can't make as much money as you'd like this next 2 months?
That's a difficult conversation. Yeah. We have to talk about that issue purely on a safety and security aspect of that. Of course it has impact, but it has lots of different impacts on the industry with overall capacity and so on and so forth. We're just waiting for the right folks to say it's okay to fly, and then we're going to implement our own process to ensure that all our customers are comfortable when they actually book a flight.
How do you do that? Because look, I have total faith in Boeing, and I will ride them because I think Boeing is, you would never put anything in the air if it weren't safe. But will people be asking, is this one of those planes?
They will. And again, and this is the issue. We have to be absolutely sort of look at it from that perspective. There will be people who are concerned. And just because a regulator or a manufacturer or a person like United says it's safe doesn't mean you're going to believe any one of us. So we have to be very transparent. So when you book a flight with us and it involves a MAX, you will know. You will immediately know. And if for some reason you miss that point, when you get somewhere closer to your flight, we will reaccommodate you. We will rebook you. We won't charge you a fee. I mean, we just have to be that lenient and flexible with regards to this, just to ensure everyone's comfortable. Our employees the same way, right? We have flight attendants and pilots that are also going to have to get comfortable, and we'll do the appropriate things as there. And as I've said before, I'll be on the first plane if that helps anyone. But I feel the same way. It's going to be a safe aircraft. But again, it's not our view. The regulators have to weigh in on that.
Okay, you're out here for Dreamforce. We're not seeing your usual confines. I think
I don't have a tie on.
No, you don't. I think that United Airlines is uniquely much more technological since you came in. And I also know if you're out here with Mark Benioff and Salesforce, it means you're uniquely charitable and doing things for the community. I am a big believer, and people on my staff know in 2019 we pivoted. We can't just talk about earnings per share. We have to talk about impact per share. And you're committed to impact per share, aren't you?
Yeah, we truly are. And that's one of the reasons we come out to this fund, because we talk about our constituents, clearly our customers, of course, our investors, and then, of course, our employees are important. But the community we serve in so many ways. And one of the missions that I've received from my United family writ large is that in a world that's increasingly divided, we choose a world united. And they've given me a lot of clarity and vision about what areas in the community we can support, whether it's underrepresented youth and education, whether it's assistance with any kind of crisis, whether it's creating jobs and internships for people, whether it's just giving in a lot of different ways. We just had a food bank that the system went out, their cooler system, and they have $2 million worth of food for Thanksgiving. And they need help, and they're in crisis. So they call us, and nobody calls me. I hear it after the fact because they know they have absolute sort of clarity about that. Our mission is to help others as much as possible. But back to the digital thing, that's a really cool story. And we'll have to do a segment at some point in time. Our digital team has done an amazing job. Of course, it's digital technology, and it's all the great new things. But it really is meant to do two things. One, to make your life as a customer easier. But more importantly, it's also to make our employees' life easier in taking care of you. And that's a kind of an underpinning that no one really appreciates. Our employees are beginning to, because it just, you know what, they don't have to deal with all that sort of thing.
Right.
You know, and that's the important part. And our team, we've kind of, we've created a new environment for them, and it's a sort of a fast fail valley sort of lingo. But, you know, we have some great folks that we've been able to attract. Chicago's becoming a better tech center, so we've got some great people that do this. And I can't tell you the scores and scores of developments and applications that we've been able to roll out.
Well, I want to kind of contrast previous administration, your company historically had underspent for technology. You were committed to that immediately. Your company was known as, let's just say, not always perfect labor relations. You committed to that immediately. I don't hear any complaints from labor. Maybe they're doing, I just don't hear them. But I also know that technologically, I think you've leapfrogged. Are you done with these and it's on to the next, or are these just things that you just have to continually work on?
As far as...
well, just like you always have to spend more money on tech. There's nothing you can do, right?
No, listen. This is a world that you cannot stand still.
Why is that? Why? Is it because of the other guy? Because of the tools that you see at Salesforce?
You know, there's a degree of catching up. I mean, technology is moving at such an incredible pace. And you as a customer begin to experience that in a lot of different products that you buy, and you expect that out of legacy companies like ourselves. So we have to move in that way. It's a world that's disruptive, and the best way to avoid disruption is be disruptive yourself and get ahead of it. And it's a little bit more difficult for a company of our size and scale, right. But we've been able to really move fast on some issues. I always talk about our technology in two ways. There's the really kind of R&D futuristic sort of thing that's important, but what's more important to me is the technology that helps you today. Right? I don't need to talk to you about something we're going to build in 5 years. It's something you actually experience. Our app is a perfect example of that, right? It's meant to be very intuitive, to give you all the information that you need. And we can talk to you in a different way, and we've changed the tone of how we talk as well. We try to be a little bit more lighthearted. If you're going to
you are that.
Yeah. If you're going to be delayed, it's not, you know, it's never great that you're, but again, it's an attempt to be more human.
But I also want people to know on time, since you got, what were your on-time numbers when you came in, and where are they now?
They're significantly better, right? Just, again, at the end of the day, all these other things that we discussed, if we can't get you safely and reliably on time to the places you want to go to on a very, very consistent basis, that is that's entry into the game. You have to be able to do that. And that is done, by the way, with 96,000 people out there every day really caring about the fact that their mission is to take you to the place that, you know, that matters most to you. And I give them a lot of credit, because it is not an easy job moving us around at all. Weather and air traffic, all the different things that we face, and it's an important sort of development, the human aspect of it.
Well, I'm glad you brought that out. We don't talk about it enough, candidly. That's our job to do. We should bring it up more. And I also want to point out that when I listen to you, I feel both the United States and the global economy, you're not just domestic, are pretty darn good. Global economy good.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's pockets. There's always pockets.
Right.
We have a broad portfolio. We have one of the biggest, if not the biggest, global footprint out there. And so there's most of the pockets are okay. Hong Kong has been an issue for obvious reasons, but Asia writ large has been okay. And so across the board, we still see continued strength.
Well, I see a stock that's too cheap, only up 10% for the year. It should be higher. That's Dr. Munoz. He's the CEO of United Airlines. And I got to tell you, the journey that this airline has taken, this man has taken charge, is really rather amazing. Mad Money's back in. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.